and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Stefan, and on this channel I am going to introduce you to my personal photography. On this very first episode I'm going to take you to the island of Tenerife. Back in January, when the days were really cold here in Germany, me and my girlfriend Rena took a plane and flew over to Tenerife for 1 week. We got a rental car and we lived in a beautiful Airbnb in the south. Our plan was to discover the island. On the very first morning I already got up at 5 AM. So what to do? I still had loaded some tungsten film in my medium format camera. I took it out and did some long time exposures until sunrise. I almost flew through the rolls and took not only the tungsten film Portra 100T roll with me, but also a Kodak Gold 200. This was really the most beautiful sunrise I ever saw on an island. After we had some beautiful breakfast, we took our car and headed north in order to discover the little village of Masca. The place was really packed. We were obviously not the only people discovering this one. I have my Bronica with me, but also my Fuji X100VI. The place was really beautiful. Tiny little alleys, little cafes, and also little places which invited us to take a little rest. The light was really beautiful, and on the horizon you could see the islands of La Gomera and even La Palma. After a little rest and a little beautiful coffee, we took our car and drove over to the most beautiful place I'd seen for ages, called Los Gigantos. Huge rocks over the Atlantic Ocean. Beautiful light, incredible nature, and a little tiny beach. This was one of the beaches which had black sand. I had never seen black sand in my entire life before. Just before we were about to leave that place, we went to a place which was a little bit more up the bay, and I started to put in some black and white film. I had some Kodak Tri-X with me, but also my Kodak Gold 200 film. I took a lot of pictures on film, but also on digital. That wrapped up that very first beautiful day on Tenerife. On the second morning we got up early again. I took Rena to show her the sunrise. We had some really beautiful landscape around our place. We had little bays, rocks, fissures were all around, and we took the chance, watched the sunrise and took a little walk around. Later on, after a nice breakfast, we took a little hike around the place. There was a mountain to climb, which had a really nice overview over the whole area. after that, we took a little rest in that tiny bay around. I wasn't used to this kind of bays. Normally I'm into like going to beaches with sand. The most places for going to the water were not like beaches, what I used to see, but more like little rocky places with pools, nature pools. In the afternoon, we drove for half an hour to discover another little place, also a rocky beach. It was really hard for me to get into the water because I was not used to walk on these hard rocks. In the evening, we had a little dinner at our place. I love to go to Spanish supermarkets and buy some local food. It's all about the garlic. On our third day, we planned to discover the northeast of Tenerife. Our first stop was at the capital, Santa Cruz. We stopped by that little opera place, which was really interesting to shoot. Of course, I had my medium format camera with me and loaded up some 120 film in black and white Kodak Tri-X. The place was really packed with tourists, and of course every now and then people ran into my frame, so I had to become more patient once again. Afterwards we went more north to a beautiful bay in order to take a rest and do some swimming. We had a little lunch, of course Spanish tapas with a lot of garlic once again. In the afternoon we decided to drive up the mountains to go on the north side of the island. When we arrived there, we were really overwhelmed by the beauty of that nature. We expected a lot, but not this. Huge rocks once again, a dramatic sky which was a little bit overcast, but that fitted absolutely right into that kind of photography I wanted to take over there. Once again, I decided to put in some Kodak Tri-X. Like all the time I used this film on the island, I used a yellow filter in order to get more contrast on the film. That filter was a little bit too small for my lens, so I had to hold it in front of the lens all the time, which led to a little problem because my finger was on every single frame, visible just a little bit, but it was visible. That place was really good, and after that we took a 1.5 hour drive home in order to relax a little bit. In the evening I recognized I was getting sick. The next day we took a little break because I was really feeling sick and needed to rest a little bit more. The next day we got up really early in the morning because we wanted to see sunrise and the national park Mount Teide. Mount Teide is a volcano. Should be really promising. So we drove up and arrived round about sunrise. And we were really overwhelmed what we saw there. This was not real. Almost no people around. When we stopped for the very first time, we really recognized that it was -5 degrees Celsius. We expected it to be really cold, but not like -4 or 5 degrees. At our next stop we took all our stuff in order to do a hike. The sun didn't come up yet over the mountains, but the light was really amazing. It was f***ing cold. We did a 2-hour hike and had a really good time. Again, I took my medium format camera to shoot some Kodak Tri-X, but also some Kodak Gold. At this time I was sure it was the best idea to shoot black and white, because of the structures, the contrast of the mountains in front of the sky really did a good picture in black and white. When we came back to our car, the whole place was packed with tourists. Millions of cars and even more tourists from all over the world. We went on to another place which looked a little bit like the moon, at least what I expect the moon to look like. The last stop of the day was near the observatories of the island. Really beautiful to shoot. And even here the island was green. You got green trees, long roads. It was all over incredible. At this time of the day I only shot my color film because there was so much beautiful nature to discover. Green trees, green hills, that huge volcano in the background covered with some snow. Really nice. On our last day, we drove around, discovered little places, but nothing special anymore. We even went once again to a beach to do some swimming. In the evening we decided to go to the little harbor nearby and have some dinner. It was a calm place, but the whole sky was overcast. Only a little bit of sunlight on the horizon made us a little bit sad. Und ist gut? So, this wraps up my very first video on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel.